Mouth was starting to get really dry with all this talking and stuff. Look, it's Mr. MochaMassiah. He's back from his adventures. So, why? Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I'd say we're more like 65%, but I was thinking of going to like 7 or something. Do you have other plans? I said it'd be bonus. The goal was tomorrow to be in Heaven Wars, but it's a bonus if I get it today. Yeah. Oh, no. If I want to get to it at some point tomorrow, but if I can today, that's a bonus. That's what I meant. I mean, I technically I could. If I really pushed, I could. But I'm not sure if I'm willing to push that far. Okay. We heard you were fighting off primals and that there's some sort of strong enemies you could ever face. They're some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. This kid wants to become a dragoon. Yeah! Yeah! We need more. Doth the order. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all the Domans. That's adorable. Oh, do you think you could train us today, Mr. MochaMassiah? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals. What's all the commotion then? Mr. Boulder and Mr. Coltonet? Did you know that Mr. MochaMassiah is back? So it would seem, welcome home. My companion and I recently became full members of the Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. Hoary Boulder. I'm known as Hoary Boulder. I didn't know boulders could be hoary. Just saying. And this bookish fellow is Coltonet. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we have taken upon ourselves to instruct the Doman younglings in the arts of combat. Ugh, I told you, Mr. Boulder. We are not younglings anymore. We are adventurers. And we were just asking Mr. MochaMassiah if he could give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside him, don't you? Ha! Oh no. No. Well, you've certainly been diligent with your drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mardona are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter proposal. What if I were to cross swords with MochaMassiah? A demonstration of skill at arms, if you will. Ori. If I didn't know you better, and I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against a legend.
Haha.
Well, mayhaps I am, but what matters is the motive when the children stand to learn so much from the lesson. What say you, MochaMassiah? Would you consent to spar with me? I stood there for a minute, but I still gave him the stoic nod. Hurrah! We're to have a tournament. Come on, everyone. We must prepare for our gear for an outing. Do try not to disappoint them, Have faith, Coltonet. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make of this a worthy contest. The fields to the east of town should prove suitable for my purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. Oh god. Buddy was like, single player duty incoming, and I'm like, oh, okay. Now I know what we're doing. I'm gonna have to beat this guy to a pulp. I don't want to do that. I'm too nice a man for that. Us dragoons don't just kill for the fun, for the sport. Maybe we do. Where are we going, by the way? Revenant's Toll. I keep thinking, I thought it was in Vesper Bay. Whoa. That's pretty. I am ready to begin. Don't you worry. Here we go. Very well, let us not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Ahem, Hori, are you certain you wish to fight them alone? That is Machias you face. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, 'twas a hero's legend that led me to join the Scions to begin with. Without Machias to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. Hello, you haven't begun yet, have you? Ida! Thancred! Ida, but who are all these people? When I heard about your sparring match, I told everyone I could find. Thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, and there's still more to come. When I mentioned Machias' name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. Why, my own popularity seems but a sickly shade in comparison. You best claim victory, bringer of light. Your burgeoning with reputation is at stake. Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. I'm actually not a swordsman. I'm a lanceman. They call me Lance-a-lot. I lance a lot. You can win, Mr. Boulder. Oh. Wait. We shall see. On your guard. Smile. Ha! Ha! Oh, wait, what's going on? Oh. Oh, I was gonna rain fire. He didn't let me rain fire. Not even fair. Two people? Bam. You bested me. I yield. That was incredible. He beat them both at the same time. We knew you couldn't lose, Machias. None can defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they send you to deal with the primals. I have much work to do if I'm ever to attempt the same. Yes. Impressive as always, Machias. 'Tis ever a pleasure to witness a spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles of these many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of Eorzea. Yes, that is the most fitting title. You recall when we first met, 'twas a memorial service for the Battle of Cardano. Yeah, you wouldn't shut up. You explained everything to me about everything. Banner thing. At the time, I was yet attempting to understand this land of Eorzea. I sought to grasp the reason why Grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abounded, and yet the effort I saw expended towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzeans a foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles their home was in, I would not have been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. The Legatus's single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue Grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, the nations too self-involved and unstable. It was you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. 'Twas you who taught me, through countless acts of bravery, that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor its history, nor any single nation. It was a people, these wonderful, oft infuriating, stubborn people, that suffer blow after terrible blow only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe Grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew to a fervent wish. A wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. Good man. I too will endeavor to take up the mantle of Guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the Scions of the Seventh Dawn alone. No, what is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Ascians is a new expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, then pray let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stones. Okay. Hi. Yeah, to give you an idea, the patches are the last two patches are of content are shorter. Possibly. I don't remember. But like the last one. Last one's only 8 quests long. And the one after that is like 10. Sorry, the last one's like 16. A little more on the last one. Thank you for coming, Machias. The world shifts and alters, and we, my friend, must ever be one step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization, a group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. I'm gonna say skill speed? Determination's a healing thing. I feel like skill speed is probably good for a Dragoon too. Pray forgive me if I tread over old ground, but I would first speak of the grand plan. Since the advent of the 7th Astral Era, the leaders of the three nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the desperate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. A realm-wide grand company, if you will. The military might of such an institution would be drawn from every corner of the land and directed against threats that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Huh. Yet, while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I sense the impetus towards unification draining away. Thus I have been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on a much smaller scale than what we had hoped to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation according to the Scions. 'Tis my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. Also, being a primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the antecedent. The Scions work tirelessly to protect Eorzea and its people. But as you yourself have witnessed, the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under the Scions' command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goals of my proposed organization and those of the Scions are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing this precursor to the true, border-spanning Grand Company, 'tis yet necessary that I visit the three leaders and gain their official approval. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask that you would accompany me on the journey and attend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members while I am otherwise engaged with the bureaucratic formalities. Thank you. 'Tis reassuring indeed to know that the bringer of light and his discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. Our first destination will be Limsa Laminza. Let us rendezvous at Bulwark Hall. So, this whole patch, the Defenders of Eorzea, is like a very story lore heavy patch dedicated to like building up what is essentially going to be what he just said, the Grand Company of Eorzea, with tons of NPC adventures and, well, canonically player characters as well. We want to go this way. Okay. Lending. So we want adventurers that are going to lend their strength when the situation demands it. That's the purpose. Okay. Wait, what? Where are we going? Jar the potential. Oh, okay. Let's go get that one. Wah, wah, wah. Yes, I had heard the formation of Trial Company was in the offing. It is with regret that I must decline your invitation as commander of the Yellow Jackets. The protection of Lisbon must receive my full attention. I mean, technically that's what you would be doing, my friend. Jeez. Oh God, I gotta talk to somebody here. The Krakens will know that there's a time to act and a time to watch, and I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter category. Man, nobody wants a part of this. You guys are cowards. All cowards, I tell ya! They're all cowards. All of them. Will you join us? Remember old Riol, don't you? Formerly the Company of Heroes? Yes. Looking to put together a new crew, top tier work. Sounds like right work it does. Count me in. Yeah! Woo! Jeez, what the hell? What was I thinking? Nice. I wouldn't be surprised. Y'all brothers? What's up, girl? Ugh. Doesn't want to because she's a pirate. Go this way. Oh, I think I went the wrong way. Crap. Kinda yucky out here. I have not the time to be traipsing hither and yon across the realm. To require my skills and armor, however, I'd be willing to accept special commissions. A lady. Oh, that was in Gridania. Let's go this way, I guess. Thought I could teleport to the airship platform, but that's only in Gridania. Now where do I go? Right here. Forgot where to go. I haven't had to do this in forever. Member of the legendary company of heroes indicated his interest. Nice. I too was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents. Nice. Okay, so we're going to Gridania so he can get the Seed Seer. to sign papers, and I'm gonna go recruiting again over there. Da 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 da.